Choosing our niche is going to be the thing that makes us stand out and allows us to put that time and effort into one specific goal. Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. This week I want to start by telling you a little bit of a story about me. Maybe you can relate to it. I often consider myself to be a multi-passionate millennial. And maybe you're watching this video and you're not a millennial, that's okay, but perhaps you can relate to the former. Perhaps you're like me and you have so many interests in so many things and you just love doing a little bit of everything to keep things interesting. You want to do it all, you want to be it all, and you want to offer everything to everyone. Listen, my friend, I have been there and, well, honestly, I'm still there. You're open-minded, you like to try lots of new things, and you can always manage to figure out something that you enjoy to do no matter where you are or what you're doing. Same. And it's awesome because life is never boring. There's always so many things to think about, so many things to do, and it's absolutely great. But when we think about translating this sort of multi-passionate persona into business, things become a little bit problematic. It just doesn't translate well. And so we hear all this noise on the internet, like choose your niche. In order to be successful in business, you have to pick a niche. The most successful people that I know have a very specific niche. And you might be thinking like, I don't want to pick a niche. I love to do everything. What am I supposed to do? It's almost as if you have this fear that if you choose a niche, you're putting yourself in this box and then you're going to be glued to the confines of whatever that is. And you're never going to be able to change your mind. Well, first of all, let's not worry about that. I am going to share with you some of my own personal experience that will helpfully ease some of that anxiety. But if you're either facing this fear or maybe you're already in your business, you're offering all these things and you're just not gaining the traction that you want to, you're confused, you're scared, or you're just like very unsure about what you're supposed to be doing, you're in the right place. Do not worry. We are going to address it all in this video, and I am so excited to take you with me. All right, friends. So my entire journey as an entrepreneur has essentially been like this. When I started my business 4 years ago, I wanted to do it all and be it all, everything for everyone. I was confused. I was scared. I was excited. And worst of all, I thought I knew everything there was to know. Why on earth would I just pick one niche when I could offer multiple services to multiple different people, broaden the pool of potential clients and customers, and make more money because I was speaking to more people? Like, that makes sense, right? Wrong. And so at that time, I was marketing myself as a yoga teacher. I was marketing myself as a mindset coach. I was marketing myself as a meditation guide, a retreat host, an EFT practitioner. I really wanted to do it all, but you know what happened? No one cared. And it's not because I wasn't skilled at each of these things. I really was, and I was really, truly passionate about all of those pursuits. The issue was, from the consumer perspective, it was very unclear in terms of what I was offering them and also how the things that I was offering were going to make their lives better. Because ultimately, and I talk about this in a ton of my videos, it comes down to the customer experience and to speaking to that ideal client. And so we really need to understand who it is we're trying to help and why it is we want to help them. And so if the medium with which we are going to help them solve that problem is not clear, we are essentially speaking to no one. So instead of trying to market myself as this master of everything, what I really should have been doing, and I did this later on, was pick one of those 5 things and really focus my marketing on that pursuit. So if you're like me back in 2018 and you have so many different things and you want to, do it all and be it all for everyone, then this video is for you. I want to help you understand step by step exactly how you can pick a niche for your business in a way that isn't going to make you feel claustrophobic, but also in a way that allows you to step into the business that you desire to have and step into the persona of a business owner that you desire to become. So if that sounds good to you, let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, so we've already established that you have so many ideas and you want to do absolutely everything and you just want to know, where do I go from here? We'll get into that, but first let's talk about this phenomenon that I see on the internet happening time and time again. And again, just like I mentioned in the story that I just shared, this is exactly what I did when I first started my business, and that was wanting to do it all. I came across this video today by another YouTuber, Jessica Stansbury. I will link her video in the description of this video, but essentially she talks about this concept of half-dug holes. And so in the analogy she shares, she talks about about you being given a shovel and being told that if you dig a hole, you will find money if you dig deep enough. And so what we do is we grab the shovel, we go outside, we start to dig, 20 minutes later, we get a little bored, we move to the next hole, we start to dig. 20 minutes later, still not finding any money. We move to a third hole, dig a little bit, still not finding any money. So now it's been a whole hour. We've dug 3 holes. We have no money and we're not gaining any traction. And so it would have been much more effective for us to take those 60 minutes, dig 1 hole, and chances are we would have found the money. And so if we think about this and apply it to the concept of our niche, it's really about this idea that if we are trying to offer everything to every person, we're never going to gain enough traction to actually see success in our business. And so again, I have her video in the description of this video. If you would like to watch it, I highly recommend you check it out. She shares some really great key takeaways all along why it's so important for you to figure out your niche. The idea here and the takeaway is really that if we can take our time and our effort into figuring out what that one thing is going to be for us, and we put our time and we put our energy into creating content and offerings around that specific niche, we are much more likely to see success than if we try this thing for a little bit and then try that thing and then try this other thing and then try to make it all come together like it's one thing when it's really 3 separate ideas. Choosing our niche is going to be the thing that makes us stand out and allows us to put that time and effort into one specific goal. And so having a niche really enables us to accelerate our growth, grow our audience, and ultimately get more clients for our business. And so if this sounds good to you, let's get into exactly how we can do that. And so at this point in the video, you likely understand why it's so important to have a niche, but you still might be thinking, Danielle, I just have so many ideas. How am I supposed to choose one? What am I going to do? I don't get it. And listen, I get it. I have been there. I have been you, and I made it through, thankfully. So let me share with you what I've learned. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to grab a pen and paper, or you can open up a blank Word document and start to write down all of the different niche ideas that you have. What categories are you interested in starting a business around? Maybe it's business, maybe it's real estate, fitness, health, makeup, furniture flipping, whatever it is, I want you to write it down. And I would kind of write them like separate from each other. Under each of these niche categories, I want you to take some time to really brainstorm different content ideas, products and services, all of the subcategories that could fall under that niche that you would use to either market or sell in your business. And what you're likely going to notice with this exercise is that for some niches versus others, it's going to be much easier for you to generate those subcategories, those subtopics based on that single niche. And so this should signal to you that those categories where it is really easy for you to come up with all of these subtopics, those are likely the ones that you are most passionate about and that you have the skills already available to you to create a profitable business. Now, I talk about this a lot in my TikTok videos, but if you want me to do a full-length video on how to figure out what product you should sell in your business, feel free to leave that in the comments. But the idea is that while we can have this concept of what people would want to pay money for, we also have to think about the things that we enjoy doing and the things that we already have skills in. Because if we are missing any of those 3 things, what people want to pay for, what we're skilled at, and what we have passion for, it's very unlikely that we're going to see success. And so the principles of this exercise that I had you do with writing your niche, writing the subcategories, is really indicative of this same sentiment. It's about thinking about the things that you are already passionate about and that you already have knowledge in, and then choosing to pursue that from a business perspective. So which of these niche ideas and subcategories stood out to you in terms of knowledge that you already have? At the end of the day, you want to choose something that you not only have the skills to build, but that you also have the interest in continuing to pursue as time goes on. Now, if you're thinking about this exercise and you're having trouble coming up with any ideas at all, do not worry. I actually have a video here on YouTube where I talk about my 5x6 content strategy that I use for creating consistent Instagram content for my business. And I think that the exercise shared in that concept is going to be very helpful for you in just completing this exercise. So if you just click this video right here, it's going to walk you through techniques that you can use to really brainstorm subcategories within each of the niches that you've established. And of course, if the information I'm sharing in this video is helpful for for you, be sure to hit that subscribe button because I drop helpful videos every Friday right here on YouTube. Now, let's say you finished the exercise and you have chosen your niche. That is great. Now, let's take it even further. Categories like fitness, like health, business, real estate, those are all great starting points, but they aren't niche enough. So here's what you're going to do now. You're going to take that niche category that you chose and we're going to break it down even further. So let's say that your niche is fitness. That's great. What kind of fitness are you talking about? Is it yoga? Is it weightlifting? Is it personal training? Is it Pilates? Awesome. Who is your service for? Is it for moms? Is it for students? Is it for working girls? Perfect. What do those people do day to day? Do they stay home? Do they go to work? Are they busy? Are they just hanging out? Excellent. What problems do they face? Is it hard for them to lose weight? Are they struggling with healthy eating? Are they really busy and they don't have any time? Perfect. Get specific and get to know your ideal client. This is all so important when it comes to narrowing down your niche. And so I'll give you 2 examples to really juxtapose the difference so you can see why it's so important to niche down. So an example 1 will say, I'm a personal trainer that teaches busy students how to lose weight and eat healthy on a student budget and very little time. Versus, I teach people fitness. Do you see the difference? The point here is that the more specific we can get in saying who we are and what we offer with our product or service, the more likely our ideal client is going to self-identify and say, hey, that's me and that's exactly what I was looking for help with. And so it is so important that we are not only choosing a niche, but we are getting hyper specific within that niche to figure out who our key subgroup is that we are trying to serve. Okay, and so once that's all done, it is time for us to validate our niche. And this is a step that a lot of people skip, but it's also one of my favorites to talk about because it is so important. And if you do it, it can save you a ton of time. As people who are multi-passionate and who have a lot of ideas, we can often tend to fall into this trap where we think that every idea we have is a great idea and that everyone is going to love it. But the reality is this just simply isn't true. And that's okay. That is just why it's so important for us to really talk about validating our idea before we decide that it's amazing and we spend all this time and we spend all this money building this business that nobody wants. Let me save you the heartache. So there are a few ways that you can approach this, but I'm going to start with one that is very simple. All you're going to do is you're going to go on Google and you're literally going to Google your niche. So again, going back to the fitness coach example, you could look up fitness coach for students or how to lose weight on a student budget or weight loss ideas for busy students. Anything that is either your niche specifically or subtopics that are related to your niche. And then I want you to see what comes up. Whether it's Google search results that yield book suggestions or YouTube videos or blog posts, these are all good signs that your niche idea is valid. Competition is not your enemy here. Competition or results in the Google search feature really just indicate that someone out there is willing to pay for the thing that you are providing and that there is an audience and a market for this idea that you have. And so naturally, other great tools that you could also use would be Instagram or TikTok. And again, just search different keywords or questions or ideas about things related to your niche, essentially so that you can determine whether or not there is a market for you to tap into in that space. Now, that being said, if you have your niche and you're ready to go, but the prospect of starting a business on social media seems really scary, it seems really overwhelming, I have this video right here that I urge you to check out because in that video, I am breaking everything down step by step that you exactly need to do if you are starting a business from zero on social media. And even if you're not starting from zero, you will find some key takeaways that I think will really help you grow your business. So give it a watch to ease your anxiety. And I promise you that once you get the ball rolling, things are going to get a whole lot easier. Okay, friend, as a multi-passionate entrepreneur, sure, there are many things that we could be doing, but we really want to think about what can we be doing that we actually will want to continue doing for the long term. Because when we think about our niche, we really want to go back to that half-dug hole analogy and think about how if we're only in it for a short period of time, we are likely not going to see the results that we desire. So what is something that we are passionate enough and we know enough about that we could do it for the long haul while also understanding what the market is actually looking for. How can you go ahead and check off both of those boxes? Starting and growing your own business is easily one of the most difficult things you will ever do, and that is why my purpose here with this channel is to help make the journey a little bit easier. I hope this video really made the process of narrowing down your niche at least a little bit easier. I would love to hear from you in the comments below. What is your niche? What do you sell and who do you sell to? I always love to connect with other entrepreneurs in the comments, and I cannot wait to see what you're up to. If you have questions about determining your niche, feel free to drop those in the comments below as well. Make sure to give me a follow on Instagram and TikTok, and I will see you next week in another video.